Alright, so today we're basically going to be finding out how red pilled I am. I'm just kidding. There's a lot of dating advice circulating the internet, and these guru figures tend to speak in absolutes, which I believe you should never do. Because you know what? We need impartiality in this conversation. I honestly picked the worst time to be single, and by picked, I mean dumped 2 years ago. I'm navigating it now. I feel like a boomer waking up from a coma, and his nurse is wearing cat ears and blasting K-pop. It's a new world, and I don't understand it because...
The game has changed.
Here we go. Alright, so first we have plays video games. Now this, I don't think, is inherently a bad thing. I mean, like, we're not talking about Twitch streamers here and whatever and getting away with stuff they shouldn't. We're talking about real life, right? So, like, if your girlfriend wants to play some Mario Kart with you, or she wants to, you know, hit the Wii Sports golf ball a time or two, you know, I don't really think that's that big of a deal. So we're just going to go ahead and put that in neutral, right? So only dates bad guys. This is immediately an uh-oh, because you know why? If she's only dating bad guys, then that just says more about her than it says about the guys. She's the one making the decisions, you know what I mean? Like, she craves that concept, right? There's something about the bad guys that makes her feel good, makes her feel alive, but it's at the expense of toxicity and anything else that's just not too good, right? Okay, so believes in God. You know where that's going. Mary, and I'm not just talking about women that like will put like say Christian in their bio and then take like an ass picture. It's the first thing you see. No, I'm talking just like straight shooter. I think it's like 12% of the young women, or maybe all women, I'm not sure, don't quote me, but there's a 12% somewhere in this country that actually do believe in God. And so those at least have some predefined moral compass. And like, you could just generally assume that they grew up in a good household, good parents, whatever. I mean, you know, actions speak louder than words. But I'm talking about, for the sake of the argument, just like stereotypical believes in God, good girl, right? So that's something I think you want. Plays a sport. So this one is interesting because I guess it depends on who you are, because you want a girl that's going to be active and isn't just going to want to be sitting around eating hot Cheetos all day and doing nothing and endlessly, mindlessly scrolling on the phone. If she's in sports, not only does that mean she's committed, but it also means that she's responsible and dependable, because she has responsibility not only to herself, but to her teammates as well. And I like to think that something like that will rub off in a relationship. And it also means she's fit. Now, where this can get into a little bit of a caveat is that she's going to want you to be fit too. She, like, you can't be sitting there eating Cheetos. You know, you're not allowed. You better be the big man. So for that, I guess because everyone's different, I think we could put that. It's like high potential-ish. I guess we'll put it in 50-50. We're talking the whole country here. You know, 1 in 4 people are overweight. Whatever. We'll leave it there. Has an OF. I'm not even going to talk about that. Right? Watches anime. So I myself don't personally watch anime. I think the only 2 I've ever watched are Pokemon and then Attack on Titan, which my dude that watches anime told me isn't even really an anime. I don't know who to believe. From what I see, these girls, like, it kind of just reminds me of like 2010's Hot Topic core with the uwu and the bracelets and the whatever and the what the heck is that called? Not Pinterest, but the other, like, Tumblr. It's like that one. So that's more of a niche thing. So I'm gonna put that in neutral, right? Shares the same passions as you. Now, this can be really good for a relationship. It's really nice to be able to have a girlfriend that, you know, appreciates what you do and you appreciate her doing it and you get to do it together. Makes it a lot of fun, you know, in the beginning of the relationship, you know, you get some good chemistry going, right? The only thing you could really say against this is if you guys only like the same things, because then there's no yang to the yin. There's nothing you're bouncing off each other. You guys have to be a little bit different in that regard. But I'm gonna put that in Mary, just because, you know, you do want some compatibility in terms of what it is you guys like to do. Okay, so watches TV series or films. Now this is super dependent. I mean, dude, scrolling on these apps, I see girls posting like, I only watch horror. I only watch horror. I need someone to watch the horror movies with me. And then I see other girls like, I love Adam Sandler. You know, I mean, if she's watching Love Island, she's in shocked. But I mean, there's a litany of TV. I mean, my one girlfriend, she was telling me, she's quoting The Sopranos to me, right? I would put that in Mary. But you know, this is really just a neutral thing. I mean, it's like, if you guys think about it, you really just kind of want, you know, to be able to watch some stuff. You watch some of her stuff, she watches some of your stuff, you bond over it, you learn new things about each other. I think it's a good thing. Kind to everyone. That is an instant Mary. You can tell so much about a person just based upon how they interact with each other or to other people. You know, it's like what girls always tell each other when they say, oh, how does he talk to the server? Is he rude to the server? Because that's a red flag. Or is he rude to his mother? Because that's a red flag. Well, like, yeah, obviously it is, because it's inherent. I mean, when you exude kindness, it really just boils down to, like, it's just in you. It's either in you or it's not. So I think we can all agree that is a Maryable characteristic. Rational. I would put that in Mary, but there is no woman alive that is fully 100% rational. So I guess that's a little bit of the red pill coming out. But more or less, it's just that, I mean, we're wired differently. That's what we have to understand here, is that men are wired logically, and that's our biological prerogative, and women are wired emotionally, and that is their biological prerogative. And so it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, that's what makes it special and different. I mean, I see all the time about how that's such a divisive thing, and the guy's like, oh, well, she's not logical and she's not going to do this, so I have to be the big man and I have to lay down the law and she's going to follow it, or I'm going to blah 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 blah. And it's like, dude, chill. You know, if she's down for you, she's down. But you do need a little bit of rationality, because on the other side of that, you have eccentricism and toxicity and impulsivity, and those are not good qualities, because then she's going to be keeping you on your toes. You're not going to know what's going on half the time. She's going to be playing mind games with you. And, you know, a rational adult just would not do that. I mean, minimally, they'll give you a shit test here and there. But, yeah, so rational is going in high potential, because that's the glass ceiling we're shooting for here. Often follows her instinct. So it's like every single one of these is just dependent upon the individual characteristic, because a woman that follows her instinct, I tend to think, is better, because she isn't following the instincts of her friends. She's not a follower, right? Like, she's a grown woman, she can make her own decisions. But now if we go too far in that way, then it's like it becomes self-serving, like it's self-centered. Just like, oh yeah, I'm the boss bitch, and I do this because I say that, because I think this, and then she doesn't want to listen, and then she wants to take on that masculine role, and then it's just too much. But I think a lot of that is starting to revert, because I've been seeing all the women complaining online about, oh, well, you know, we're the men, why aren't they approaching, and oh god, what's happened, you know, I'll probably get into that later. I mean, I honestly think that a woman that can follow her instincts is probably going to be good for the biological imperative in the relationship. So I'm gonna put that in high potential. Does the opposite of what she says. Dude, a woman could wake up one day and love you more than anything in the entire world, and the next day she's gonna hate you because you didn't open the door for her. I mean, I'm not even kidding. It's just what it is. The hormonal intricacies of women are far beyond that of what men could ever possibly understand. No matter how well we do actually understand it, the interworkings of it and the communicative style that you're going to be able to take with that, I mean, good luck. Because we all have to deal with that at one point or another. And like you could even talk about like that's why nice guys finish last or whatever, because you know, she says she wants this, she says she wants that, and you do all the things and you say, oh, why doesn't she want me? Dude, she doesn't even know what she wants. Man, you know what they say, don't listen to the fish to catch other fish, right? So that's going in uh-oh. That's going in uh-oh, because we know they do it. It's not good. It can stay there. Dates to marry. Well, I mean, it's in the name. That's who you want. I mean, you don't want a girl, and I hate this so much, dude, more than anything. I see it all the time, like when I'm swiping, you know, not afraid. I'm swiping, but I see they always say, not sure what I want. Why are you on this app if you don't know what you want? There's literally options that say dating, short-term, long-term, short-term, friends, acquaintances. Why the hell are you on here if you don't know? You gotta figure yourself out before you just throw yourself out there and put your butt on the internet, right? So date to marry, intentional, very good. You know, we like that. That's what we like. Okay. Loves the hot and cold effect. I'm just gonna assume that's like the toxic behavior of like, she's super into you. I mean, we're kind of talking about this earlier, but she's super into you and then she's out of you, and she loves you and she hates you, and she just plays these stupid mind games. You know, that I hate that so much. That's going in shocked because I can't deal with that. I'm a grown man. You know, save that for the teenagers. Cute, right? Okay, so these next couple, all right, this is almost like a collective here. Sorry, I need a sip of my water here. So cute is gonna go in high potential because there's a few things that can happen here. Like, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people would agree a cute girl can go up in value just based upon her personality. I mean, cute, we're probably talking like 6'7", like she's borderline attractive, like she's got that little vibe about her, you know. She's not like a supermodel, but she is conventionally attractive. And I honestly think that those tend to like make the best, you know, types of relationships, because I mean, let's face it, if she's an 11 out of 10, dude, guys are gonna be on her all the time. She's gonna have endless options, and you could argue that lots of women have endless options, but the ones from, I mean, in my experience too, that I've dated that are like in the 6, 7 to even 7.5 range, they're down. They're pretty loyal for the most part. I mean, you're gonna get a little bit of it here and there, but I mean, girls that know that they aren't as attractive as other girls are generally gonna try more. And I mean, that goes all the way down to the opposite end of the scale for like the busted girls. I mean, no offense. I mean, though, because they're the ones that try the most, right? I mean, this is a spectrum here. So I'm gonna put that in high potential. Attractive, I mean, attractive is over cute. So I mean, like we can put that in 50-50, because it's like you can't subjugate all like 10 out of 10 attractive women and say, oh yeah, they're all hoes because this and that and the other. I mean, it's like, for the most part, yeah, you see it. That snap score is over 100,000 or 1 million or a bajillion or whatever. You probably got issues there, you know, but I really just, I think that it's not fair to all of them, because I have dated women that are in the upper tier range as well. And I mean, it really just depends on who they are. Like, don't judge a book by its cover, right? I mean, that is kind of what we're doing here, but I digress. Rude. Chalked. If she's rude, that is the antonym of what we were just talking about a little bit ago. We cannot be having that. Dude, I dated a girl that was just so rude and malicious to everything. And like I said before, that's an internal, inherent characteristic. When a woman is rude all the time, it's usually because, to some extent, she's insecure. Or if it's only around you and she's not like that around anyone else, it's because she resents you and it's time to go because she's already looking, right? So that's a no for me. Empathetic. Mary. See, what I see a lot of is what they'll say is women can't truly be empathetic because, like, if you show weakness around them, you're a bitch, you're weak, immediately looking for other dudes, swiping left, right, center. Now, that is not necessarily always true. Because you have to remember, the other side to the whole bad boy thing is that they're sensible. I mean, think of the James Dean type, right? Think of like the Tony Soprano, where they're bad and they're cool, but they also have a little bit of this emotionality. And so when they see that, they want to pry more and more of it out of you. And it's like, it's something they can never reach. But a woman who is truly empathetic tends to be more loving in nature and more sweet and more pleasant to be around. She's not jaded. She's not gonna look at you like you're less of a man. You know, like I always think about when they talk about that is like, dude, think if somebody died, right? They say, you can never see yourself cry. They can never see you cry. It's like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, if your relative dies and like you're really upset and she's gonna comfort you, that's a real woman. That's what you want to be with, right? So I think that's a quality that is earning of the top tier here. Straightforward. Now, straightforward can really just be like anything from just being like, I want to be here this date, this time, like total type A, to just being upfront with her feelings. And both of those things are great. It only gets to be a problem when it gets to be too snippy, and then you gotta put her in line, right? because when they're wired that way, you have to be able to match that. I mean, they're going to be pretty masculine in that regard, you know, because like there's women that are like, where do you want to eat? And she's like, oh, I don't know, because she's in that feminine role. She wants you to make the decision. But if she's just like, I want to eat here right now, blah 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 blah, pick me up now, it's like, oh yeah, just be a little too much. Just be a little too much. So I'm gonna put that in the neutral column. Isn't afraid to go against the crowd. Mary, you gotta do it. You gotta marry her, dude. I don't mean anything by this, but like, this is a fact. So many women are followers because it's the hive mind, it's the collective, it's the biological imperative to guarantee survival or the gang up together. It just is what it is, dude. They honestly, like do you guys really understand how many women think they're cowgirls right now? Like just think about that for a second. Like 4 or 5 years ago, I think, even like, was rap good in 2020? Like, I don't even know. But I think about from the time like the 2016 era, let's say, when rap was dominating the charts, you know, best year ever, and we take to now where country is dominating the charts, and they all love it. They all love the Morgan Wallen and the Luke Combs and Jason Aldean and all that. And they all want a guy with a big truck now, where that was cringe like 5 or 6 years ago. If you have a girl that has her own interests and her own desires, and it's unique, I would hold on to that, because more or less she's probably going to be pretty cool. And I guess I didn't see that next one. Follows the crowd. It's like, it's chalked, dude. It's chalked. Just again for the same reasons. She parrots all the same talking points and she can't think for herself. Then the Matrix has already got her. Nah, it's facts though. You really can't. You can't deal with that. You need a woman that's not pilled one way or another. She needs to be able to think for herself in some capacity, right? Okay, so now what do we have? We have extroversion, and I'm gonna say extroversion. It's like, I'm an extrovert myself, so I'd want to put it in high potential, but realistically, I'm gonna put that in 50-50, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you have an extroverted woman, that means one of two things. Either one, she's a hoe, big time, or two, she's just genuinely fun to be around, right? I don't think there's a big in between with that. So it really just depends on her personality type again. Like, because, you know, like, we label people as extroverts and introverts and whatnot, but like, that's really more so of a spectrum. You know, it's like on a line chart. You know, like, this isn't politics, right? Like, this is your personality, and everyone's personality is unique. So people need different downtime, uptime. You know, people have different social needs. But I don't know. From most of the extroversion I see, it's just because they're hoes. But like, you don't want a boring girl either. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it 50-50. Introverts are a little bit different, because you can make the argument that they are way more down to earth, or they're sweet, or they only open up to those that they really feel they have a connection with. And I agree with all of that, but just like, to some extent, like, if you're with an introvert and she wants to stay in watching Stranger Things for the 800th time, and you want to go get a drink, or like, you want to bring her around your friends, or you want to do any of those things, oh my God forbid you're out with your friends and you could have hung out with her, but God forbid you have a social life. She's gonna be blowing your shit up. She is gonna be texting you nonstop. She's gonna be using one word phrases. She's gonna be making you feel bad for wanting to be out. So you have to be wary of that, because that kind of personality type can turn into insecurity really quickly. But I mean, ultimately, again, it just all depends on who they are. You know them better than me. It's going in 50-50. The goth girls. Yeah, so they're gonna put that there. That's where it's gonna go. A lot of the times you see the memes about, like, step on my chest, goth mommy, or whatever the hell it is that people say. I don't have anything against the goth look, I guess. I mean, they are attractive, but it's not for me. I mean, because then that's a little bit of a spectrum in and of itself, because then you have like the true goths, and then you have like the posers, you have like the little alt girls that wears like a removable bull ring, and you know, she listens to Nirvana and 21 Pilots and whatnot, or you have the girls that listen to like Dimmu Borgir or Lamb of God, or whatever. You know, it all really just depends, again, on who they are. But I think a lot of the time that they have issues. I mean, like, which is interesting, because I've put Not Afraid to Go against the crowd in Mary. And like, originally I would think that being a goth, it was like that in the early 2000s, especially. Dude, I remember, you guys are not gonna believe this, but I remember literally in Kohl's, they were selling shirts of a lawnmower that said, "I wish my lawn was emo so it would cut itself." Like, like this kind of scene was not widely accepted yet, but nowadays I think it's lightened up. I don't think anyone really cares a whole lot. So, but they might have daddy issues, and you know, how they treat their dad or how their dad treated them is probably going to come out in the relationship, and it may not end up too well. Maybe some short-term fun there. Okay. Studies a lot. Is she really studying? Yeah, no, that's going in high potential, because this is another argument that I see all the time, dude. So it's either she wants to be the Miss Independent boss woman, boss lady. She can do it all. She's the CEO. She doesn't need a guy. She doesn't need this. She doesn't need that. She doesn't need kids. Or she's more so in the kind to everyone kind of atmosphere, personality, the way she is. Because, like, there are a lot of girls that will, like, say go into nursing because they genuinely want to take care of people. Like, they have a need, and that's why so many women are nurses, because they have a maternal instinct. They're good at taking care of people, and that's a great thing too. But the other thing, then, nurses are promiscuous. Girls that study a lot and have a lot of, like, extracurricular responsibility tend to increase in neuroticism very highly, because they're not as good as handling stress as men are on average. I mean, I'm not just saying that just to say that. I mean, I've had that experience. You know, I've dated girls that have been nurses, whatever. You know, it's just what happens during the school year. You know, they get a little high strung. But again, like, you want a girl. This is the fine line, though. You want a girl that has ambition, but you also don't want it to all consume her life if you can help it. I mean, grad school, you know, is tough, but you really would just like it to be set up in such a way that she just doesn't completely lose her mind. Okay, loves black humor. Okay, yeah, that's a Mary. Do you guys really want a girl that you can't make some off-color joke around, because then she's gonna ramble on for 20 minutes about the causes and the plight and the whatever it is of something she's never experienced, and she's gonna talk for all people like it's her own experience, and and I'm an empath and blah 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 blah. It's like, shut up, dude. Right? I can't deal with it. If she's making the crazy jokes, that means she hasn't been snatched by the Matrix. She still has a sense of humor, and she's probably gonna be good for you in the long run. Smokes or vapes? I mean, everyone kind of smokes or vapes now. It's messed up. I'm gonna put it in neutral, just because she might just only vape or smoke when she's drinking. If she's chiefing it nonstop, you got a problem. But I mean, it doesn't really bother me one way or the other. Right. So next we have drinking. Again, a huge spectrum. If she goes out to drink once or twice, you know, once or twice a week, you know, you might have a problem. I mean, and then even so, if it's just like a glass of wine with dinner, you know, everyone says that, but no, nobody does it. No one just has a glass of wine with dinner. You know, you have 2 or 3. You know, you have the mangot, you have the gabagool, you know, you have the spaghetti, right? But yeah, you know, if she's going out getting trash all the time, that's an So I mean, really, I think we're gonna put that in neutral, just because that's up to your own discernment, really. I mean, you can tell how problematic it's gonna be or not, and like what you're looking for in a relationship at that time, like how that's gonna go for you. I don't have to explain that to you. Takes drugs, shocked. Everything is fentanyl in it now. You know, she's gonna OD at your house. There's gonna be problems. It's not good. Girls that take drugs, like, they all go to raves, and like, personally, I don't really care for raves that much. You know, I've been to a few. It's not the greatest thing in the world. I mean, like, dude, I don't get it, right? I sound like a total boomer here, because I know rave culture is so huge right now. But like, when I was there, I saw so many girls that were just blitzed out of their minds, right? And they're just, all the beat is the same. It's just the and they're all doing that headbang stuff. I can't get behind it, dude. I think it's so stupid. All right, jealous with a G for genius. So jealous is it uh-oh? Because let me tell you why. There is a differential here between her being playfully jealous and like teasing you, and she's like, oh, I bet, you know, you sent that meme to all your girlfriends, you know, and it's like, it's cute, it's like, haha, yeah, whatever. And I mean, in that stage, you're still in the mysterious phase. You know, she might subconsciously think that like you do have other girls on the roster that you could send it to. But I mean, more or less, if she's really jealous, you know, then that, you know, delves into insecurity, and insecurity breeds problems because it creates conflict. So if she's really jealous, it's an uh-oh. If she's joking, you know, whatever, who cares? Moralist, Under the Graveyard, that it beyond shocked. Erase the whole board. It's gone. You know who I'm talking about. Do I even have to talk about it? You know, the background's blue, but her hair should be. Sometimes I really just feel bad for those women. I mean, they haven't figured it out. I mean, can they not understand that guys don't just want to be bitched at for every little thing, just every stupid cause, and just in the Instagram bio, they forget it in a few months, and then there's a new one. And it's like, it would be one thing if it was a belief that was pre-existing that they had, but then a lot of the times you just get it because it's the new social phenomenon, and they base their whole personality around it, and it's irritating. Like, you're allowed to have your opinions. I'm not saying you can't have your opinions, but like, because to base your whole personality around negative shit going on, and you thinking you're the second coming of Christ and always wanting to take the moral high ground on the issues, no one really wants to be around that. It's just really irritating. Curvy. how did it skip to Curvy? Okay. I'm gonna put that in 50-50 because that's just like a style, you know, like, okay, no, not a style, that's not the right word, but curvy is just like, I mean, she's either one of two things here, folks. She's either thick or she is built proper. And I you know, call me whatever, but I don't like the big girls, dude. The big girls, you know, she can have a wider frame, I guess, if she's like proportionally correct. But I have friends that date big girls, and they're nice. They're very sweet, you know. I'm just talking from my own like point of view here. I mean, it's not. It doesn't really matter. But what I worry about though is if I date a girl that's curvy, right, like in the mid-20s, like what I am right now, and then, you know, say she has like a kid or two, or like something happens and she just keeps eating and then she gets ginormous, and you say, oh, how can you be so shallow? Well, it's like, it's not just that. It's like, yeah, I have, you know, my desires, and I know we all get older and things change and whatever, but like, I think it's more so from a point of being able to like respect yourself. And I think that's important in a relationship, is to be able to respect your own body. Okay. Rock style. Okay, that's high potential. Like, and the reason, before you come at me, it's rock style is a lot different than goth style. I've seen girls that are just like, they just look like basic blonde girls, but they got that rock and roll personality. They got that jump in them, that oomph, that stutter in their step, you know, like they're just down. And you guys know who I'm talking about. These kinds of girls, they're normal for the most part. You know, like you look at the girl here, you know, in the tier, you know, she looked like she's about to go out to like a St. Patrick's Day grungy rock and roll thing. Like, you know, she's probably just cool, you know, she probably dresses normal at home. Shit, I can get down with that. Car enthusiast, I don't even know. I'm not a car enthusiast. I can only really think of like a handful of girls that like gave a shit about cars. They're tomboys. They're pretty chill, you know. They're pretty down, you know. It's like, You like cars, she likes cars. I don't know how much of a tomboy you want, so 50-50. Okay. Plays or watches football. I'm not from Brazil, so pretend this is an American football here, and this is going in Mary. Because if this girl is gonna watch the game with you instead of bitching at you for watching the game, you're so blessed. You don't even know. Like you all hear the thing where a woman cannot stand a man having peace. Just cannot take it, right? It has to create drama, has to create conflict, needs the constant stimulation. Hey babe, you have a beer? Yeah, of course. She comes down in her Josh Cribbs jersey, in her little shorts. You're sitting there in your nice recliner. She gets under the blanket with you. She pours one up. You know, can you imagine? Can you imagine such a woman? Incredible. This is a woman I cannot imagine, because this woman has a pecker. So, bye-bye. Okay, what's next? We got bisexual. Now, I don't even want to touch on this too much, because blah, 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 blah. But in all reality, I mean, you get any girl drunk enough and she's gay. Just like, I'm not even joking. Like you take this, it's in the because I think it's like, if she's truly bisexual, you are competing with everybody, and it's not good. It's gonna weigh on you a little bit, you know. It's like some guys don't care, you know, because like they think they're just gonna get a three-way out of it, you know, and then they get the three-way, and then she's paying more attention to the girl than you, and then you feel emasculated, and it's like, oh, why even do that in the first place? Not too good of an idea. But I did, you know, by like a couple bi girls actually. Like, and one of them said she didn't really like it. I mean, she was just kind of subjugated to it, but it's like, that's what I mean, you know. they can be gay and not even want to be, you know. One of my homies whips it out, dude. Sorry, it's not my homie anymore. All right, next, enjoys the ordinary. Holy cow, marry that girl, dude. Again, it's to the prior point. If she can just exist in her own space with her own little crocheting needles, oh my god, it's just so nice. Because what do men want? We want peace and fucking quiet. It is so important. We go out there, we're out there struggling right now. You know, my Gen Z people, you know the struggle. You know we're out there. You know we can't afford that house. You know, you know we're pretty chalked right now. So if you can come home and she's just gonna say, hey, you know, how was your day? Oh, that's good. Oh, well, this is how that went. And obviously it's not gonna be like that every day, but it would be so nice just to have a woman that can like just be chill. You know, that's what we want. We don't want antagonistic, you know, unless we're gonna do it later. All right. Has lots of male friends. That's chalked. I don't even really have to explain that. You know, it's like she needs the validation. She wants to be around it. She loves the attention. She's got a boy, but she needs the other male attention. Not gonna go good for too long. I mean, I will say though, I am a little bit of a hypocrite for saying that, only because like I have a friend that's like that. But she's just down. You could put her in the car enthusiast category, but she's like not a car enthusiast. She's like the rock style car enthusiast, you know, type of girl. But she's really cool. I mean, at the same time, you know, it's so tough because you know, if I was her boyfriend and I saw some of the stuff that she like does around us, and I'm not saying she's a hoe either, like by any stretch of the imagination. But just like a little too flirty, a little too touchy, maybe, just maybe, like borderline. I don't think I'm gonna like that, right? We've all seen the hot dog meme. We've all seen the pickle meme, right? I don't think we're rocking with that. Pick me girl, hello Pearl, and Twitter sphere. And I don't even have a Twitter. Like that's gonna go. Like, where's it going, man? Where is she going? I'll put her in just because we're gonna assume that the pick me girl is just like an over exaggeration, and she's kind of like the opposite of the moralist, because that girl is going to like make her whole personality that she's like the opposite. Like she's gonna be more like red pill than you. She's gonna be more like, you know, all the buzzwords than you. She's gonna be a little hardcore. That can be cool to an extent, but at what point is she just a tranny? You know, who could say? Talks behind everyone's back, judges others. Now, like honestly, that's kind of neutral because all women do that, because that's just how they communicate. I mean, men are very direct, very forward. You know, we know that. We're guys, probably guys watching this video anyway. You know, they do it, but then it really just boils down to like what type of person is she? Is she speaking about things objectively, or is she truly being judgmental and mean and rude and all of that? I mean, girls that gossip all the time, you know she's talking about you. And not to say she is in any way, but is she going to her friends and bitching about you for something that's so mundane and so stupid, or like even something that you had no control over? Or is she like saying that and seeking, I don't know, like advice, but like not even validation, but just to talk for the sake of talking because they love talking? All right, tall is, it's okay. We'll put that in 50-50. On the one hand, you're gonna have the opportunity, like if you're a tall guy like me, like I'm over 6 foot, right? It's not gonna be a problem. But if you've seen anything recently about the height meter preset on these apps and whatnot, yeah, you're probably chalk, bud. You know, probably not gonna work out too well for you. But at the same time though, some of my dudes are really short. I'm talking like 5'3", 5'4", and they get a lot of action. So that's the general the short king move, is to like make up for it with your personality and like, you know, be the big man, get a truck that you have to climb a ladder into. No, I'm just kidding. It also comes down to a matter of attraction too, because like she could be a tall girl and you're just like not into that. You know, you want a girl that's like 5'3", 5'4", like even like 5'7", right? Like I'm talking, like when I say tall, I'm talking like European model, like 6'1", 6'2". She's wearing heels. She's taller than you. Yeah, that can stay there. Short, high potential. She's probably cute. You know, it just is. It just is. Good relationship with family, Mary. Because you know why? She has a good relationship with her family. Guess who else she has a good relationship with? Her father. And you know what happens when they have a good relationship with their father? They have a good relationship with you, because in their mind they are dating their father. They are dating their father, but they want you to be their brother. The male archetype of what has been instilled into them from a young age has instilled in her what a man should be and how a man should act. Now, she doesn't want you to be her dad all the time, in the sense that she wants that play. She wants to have fun. So that's where, you know, you're her brother. And you mess around with her. She has a good relationship though with everybody. I mean, you know, the moms showed her how to be a mother. You know, either how to be a homemaker or good at her career and managing kids, or you know all the nice, pleasant attributes that a woman could have. I say definitely a marriable quality. I mean, actually that kind of falls into affectionate too, because like a woman that is cold and unfeeling, she's either talking to somebody else, or she's gay, or her bathwater was too cold for bath that morning. I don't know. Affectionate just kind of like stays in the whole empathetic thing. You know, she's affectionate. Like she wants you to touch her. because like as men, you know, we show affection through like touch and sight, you know, see a nice pair, and, you know, we're cavemen, but that's just how we're wired. I mean, you know, we can't control that. That's just the way it is, and we all know that. We like to pretend that it's not true, but I think that's stupid because it is. Okay, so then we got the blonde girl, right? Blonde, classic American. You know, I'm biased. I want to put it at Mary, but we'll say high potential. I have never met a blonde that isn't pleasant to be around. Like, I do not think one time. I am thinking far back here. I'm thinking back to high school. I'm thinking back to middle school. Any time in my life, I have never met a blonde girl that's unpleasant to be around. I know that's a secondary characteristic, but it's just facts. Redheads, 50-50. Does she have a soul? Does she gotta go? No, I'm just playing. They're pretty chill too. This is just coming off the experience that I've had with women that have a hair color. You cannot base an entire woman surely around her hair color. Or can you? I don't know. But anyway, flat earth, chalks, not even talking about it. You know, go talk to Kyrie Irving. Get in his DMs. In shape. Boom. She's getting it. She's getting it all day. Because you know why? If she's in shape, that means she respects herself. And it means that she's going to have good genetics. She's going to be healthier carrying your children. You know, she's not going to want to be lazy and sit around. Like I've said before, you know, she's going to do stuff. She's going to have some fun. Now, that only gets to be a problem if she's doing that TikTok to catch a predator bullshit, or if she's wearing that stuff that's super skin tight. I have been to the gym recently, and these girls might as well be wearing nothing. I mean, I know I'm a guy, and you know, you like to take a peek every now and then, but it's like, holy cow, it almost makes me uncomfortable. Like I can't look at it because it's like I feel like I can't even look in the direction of these women. Why are you wearing that here? Put a shirt on, for fuck's sake. Okay, thin is like, you know, that's your discretion. I'll put it at high potential because like a thin girl could get fit. Like here to here is a lot easier than here to fat. You know, thin girls, they can have a little bit of muscle, they can have a little bit of whatever. I think you'd actually want to lean more on that side. Fat, fat's chalk for me. If you're fat, you know, everyone likes to make the exception the rule, which is something I believe you can't do. You can't just say, oh my god, my hypothyroid gondis gigantorminous tumorous fucker upidus. No. You ate that Oreo. You ate those hot Cheetos. You ate that tub of ice cream. Go do some work, bro. Go on a run. Go on a walk. I really don't understand too how I'll see like people on apps and they'll be like, my body is a temple and blah 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 blah, and I know what I want. And I'm like, no, it's not, because you're shoveling liquid crack into it that just hangs onto your fat cells and multiplies them. So that is not good. All right, here we go. Black hair. Black hair is high potential. Because black hair women, they can fall into the goth category and become problematic. You have to consider other ethnicities here. Like, I'm talking about the majority here, right? Like, I don't think a majority of people are goth. So it's like, again, you can't make the exception the rule. But if she's got the black hair and she's like Irish, she got the super pale skin and the jet black contrast. You know, that's a very nice look. You know, she's probably got it going on. Brunette, it's 50-50. That's your average. Run of the mill. I mean, I'm just kind of talking out my ass here. That's not one, you know. Speaking of that, superficial. That is an uh-oh. The only reason it's not chalked is because all women are superficial to some degree. I mean, you can say men are superficial about like the way women look, which we are, you know. I mean, I'm not making really any bones about it here. I mean, I'm just being honest. But like women, oh my god, dude, they say, oh my god, did you see what Kathy wore? And like, oh my god, did you see who she was with? And you see what she was drinking? And oh my god, you know, she was saying this, but really it was this, and blah 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 blah. See what I'm saying? See how quickly that can spiral out of control? You know, the nice, compassionate woman, she's really not going to do a whole lot of that. because she has a conscience. I mean, would you really want someone like that anyway, that only cares about appearances? She only cares about your yacht on the Instagram. She only cares about just stupid shit, you know, like artificial things that really derive no value to you or her. It just fills her needless desire for dopamine reuptake. Okay, and so now we have the reader. Okay, the reader is definitely high potential. The only reason I won't say married is because it kind of goes back to the stereotype of the introverted thing. If she's just burying her head all day, then like, oh my god, like, can we like talk? You know what I mean? No, but really though, no, it's high potential because like women that read and are actually educated, you know, in the right way, like they're good, like, you know, they're bettering themselves. But if they're reading all this woke shit, oh god, no, oh my god, I didn't even think about that. You know, they could just be getting brainwashed. So you know what, that's 50-50. That can go either direction. Goes to the gym. Didn't we just talk about that already? Just goes with being in shape, you know. Put that in married. We already know what we said about that. Photographer, just kind of neutral. That honestly doesn't really matter a whole lot. I mean, whether you want to take pictures or not. I'm looking at it just like objectively about like what we got going on in the picture here. But if like she's taking selfies and then doing all that of herself, or like I said, if her snap score is over 1 million, or if she's putting her ass out in every, you know, Instagram picture, you know, she's not really for you. I'm just gonna pretend like it's not talking about that because we already know all that already. Okay, loves to party. I can tell you from experience, this is a big uh-oh. Because a woman that's got herself, you know, like in control and like going on, you know, like she's gonna go to the chill social gathering where it's like 10 to 15 of your homies and you're all kicking it, you're all hanging out, you know, you're having a great time, having some drinks, you know, you're playing some Quiplash or some Cards Against Humanity sort of thing, you know, the sesh. And honestly, those are, to me, those are so much better than like going to the club or like going to the whatever. I mean, even just going to a chill bar. Honestly, shout out Mulligan's, dude. Like, you go to a bar like Mulligan's where, you know, there is a lively atmosphere, but it's not ever super overcrowded. You know, you can hear yourself talk. That's the move. That's the kind of girl you want. I can assure you, she's going to raves. That, my friends, is cause for concern. All right, what we got here? Washes dating coaches. Not a chance, bro. A woman in this modern age, I don't even honestly think should need a dating coach because the hoflation is drastic. There are so many men that validate nonsense, and you know, shout out Homath, dude. He does a good breakdown of that whole topic, but that is a tough sell, bud. Chooses you, huh? So if she's choosing me, does that mean like she's asking me out first? Because that doesn't happen. Or like she sends you the message first on the dating app. That doesn't happen. Like it happens, but like it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So we're gonna put that in the uh-oh. Because if a woman is really that crazy about you and she chooses you, you don't know really what could happen with that. You would like to think that it's all gonna go very well. It's gonna be very nice, and like, oh my god, she's so into me. This is so great. This is so unusual. Fella, let me tell you, there is a reason that is unusual. Consistency. Mary, if a woman can be consistent, that's fantastic. Her emotions are always going to control her to some extent, but if she can be, you know, a grown, mature adult person and, you know, take the bull by the horns, so to speak, you know, that's what you want, you know, because if you're married, you really want a partner that is reliable and dependable, because at some point it's not just going to matter for the two of you. It's going to matter for your children and for their future and their livelihood. And you know, you gotta be aware that this woman, she's gotta be down, bro. She cannot be the type where she's gonna hit 40 and she's gonna wake up one day and the kitchen isn't clean and that's the final straw, and she goes out and you know, she bangs Tyrone. You know, like you can't have that. You need a woman that is mentally sound, if she can be. Has high standards. Oh boy, this is one of the greatest red pill arguments. So having high standards, I mean, okay, it's not it's like 50-50. Okay, in all honesty, if we're doing the red pill argument, it's if we're doing real life here, it's 50-50. Because if she has high standards, that means one of two things. It either means A, she respects herself, and like, you know, that's what you want. You want a woman that respects herself, you know, unless you're just like, you know, sleaze bag and you're just trying to, you know, bang the girl that's crying on your shoulder. I don't really condone that. The other thing it means is that you can't attain her, which that's the general consensus, is that no one can attain these women, because if she has high standards, she's aware of her beauty, she knows how hot she is, she knows what she can get. But instead of like being a normal human being, all she cares about is materialism. Her spiritual side is not very well endowed. It's not very active. So that can really go either way. And I mean, let me take a pause here. Women, like, do you think we're stupid? Like, do you do you think we don't see what you're doing? To some extent, okay, we really don't. But like a lot of the times, man, you girls, you just give yourselves away, man. You just put it all out there. It's just way too easy to see. It just happens. It's crazy. All right, not pursuing hypergamy, that's chalked because that like doesn't exist. Or if she has kids, I mean, no, it's not even if she has kids. I see those. I can't even believe this. I see those jokes all the time on the internet, right? Where it's like, I think they're fake, but they're probably real. But there are those like Tinder posts where she's like, I have 3 kids and my sons come first and I know what I want and my body is a temple and I'm so great because I put my kids first and blah, 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 blah. So she's putting out there that you're never going to be first in her life. It's always going to be the kids. It's always going to be something. And like, honestly, if you're a young dude and you're like considering dating someone with kids, just go to the gym, dude. Just go to the gym, do something, educate yourself, do something, bro. Because there is no logical reasoning for that. The only pass I give to that is if the dad died, which it can sound morbid all at once, but then in that case, she didn't have a choice in that, right? Like, she did get pregnant, kid could have a dad. If she's not pursuing hypergamy, she's also more than likely busted. And by that, you know, she's probably a whale. There's just something really wrong with her. You know, major red flags. So, you know, shout out Homath. You know, all right. So what next? Loves the kind guys, brother. Bye bye. You already know what I'm about to say. You know, we're back to the red pill. The red pill is coming through strong at the end of this tier list, man. She loves the kind guys because, in case you've been living under a rock, she wants you as the backup on her roster. So when her boyfriend messes up, she can text you like, oh my god, Jake is so mean and he doesn't understand. And like, I really need to talk right now. And like, dude, I've been that guy, right? Like, I've been that guy on both sides of the coin. I had dudes lying in wait, circling like hammerhead sharks, just waiting for me to mess up. At the ready. And I had to pretend like I like these people. And even worse, some of these people I did really like. I was friends with some of these guys. If you're a dude, I mean, that's why it says the Bible is not to covet, man. Because it's like, I'll think about that too. On a little side tangent here, some of these guys that have like tried to take my girls in the past that I was like cool with, you have no respect for them anymore. Because it's like, you cannot trust someone that's gonna snake your girl. You can't. Because like, like obviously you can't. Like no shit, you can't. I can admit that it's like it just hurts because you think you have like real friendship. You really think he's one of your boys, and then he snake you for some pussy. Ultimately, what that means is that guy is insecure, and he's not going anywhere, and he's got a lot of work he needs to do on himself. Right? High body count. Call me Mr. Red Pill, dude. Call me Mr. Tate, bro. We all know why, but in case you don't know why, there's a biological thing that happens, like especially when women lose their virginity. There's a clusterfuck of hormones that get released. They prepare the woman it prepares them for what it will be like to bear a child, and not only that, but also to grow super attached to the guy she loses it to. And that's just, it's a biological thing to be guarantee survival, keep it together. The woman back in the day, she needed the man, he needed to hunt, he needed to give her a meal, he needs to give her a cave over her head, right? And that's just sort of transpired into the modern world now. But we all know this because this is science back too. This isn't even me just like talking smack. Like this is real, because we know that once a woman starts to sleep with like 5-6 guys, she starts getting up there in numbers a little bit, and especially at the age that happens too, it makes it harder for this bond to be created, because it already gets created in the beginning so strongly. And that's the whole double standard thing too, though. I was telling my boy this the other day. I said a guy could bang a tree stump and still love his wife, and that's true. It's 100% true. But I am not condoning that. I am not saying that you go and cheat on your wife just because you can and they don't mean anything. You have to be able to control yourself in the way that she needs to be able to control herself. The only saving grace of this, and even this is argued in the red pill community, if a girl, sleeps, say, with like 30 guys and then like gives her life to Christ, that like it just doesn't matter, she's a hoe and she's gonna have trouble with it and all that. And like to some extent I agree that's true, and I personally myself do not want a girl that has slept with 30 guys. There are other people out there that are different than me that can be more understanding and be more forgiving, because I believe wholeheartedly that people can change and people can adapt. They say, once a snake always a snake. Like even in the previous example I said, they have some growing up to do. So you can change, but it doesn't mean you're not collecting a rap sheet. I mean, it doesn't mean you're not a soul snatcher. It's not good. Keep it in your pants. Our generation's doing a real good job of that and just putting it all on the internet. Right? Anyway, respects your time. Boom. You already know where that's going. If the woman, like I said earlier, she's not yapping at you, she's not trying to make you feel bad for what you're doing. Honestly, she's gonna do that if you're in the masculine role here. She's just gonna do that naturally anyway. And that's just that. That's just you. It can be taught, but it can't be. You just have to be that guy. As such as a joke as that is, I mean, really. But if you're that dude in a real sense, you're ambitious, you have goals, you have drive. You're working hard, you're getting educated, you're doing what you can, you're bettering yourself, a woman's gonna see that and it's gonna turn her on. Because even if you're not all the way there yet, you don't have the car yet, or you don't have the whatever yet, she'll see the potential. And the potential to them is more than what matters than anything. Because the second they see the potential is dwindling, that's what they're going to start considering. That's when they're going to start monkey wrenching. Designer, I don't mean to use this derogatory term, but art hoes are fire, dude. Art hoes are cool. High potential, because girls that have that kind of talent, we all know this, they're in that introverted, chill kind of way. I just think drawing's cool because I can't draw very well. And so I just think it's cool. I like when girls have their own talents and interests and stuff that I can't do. You shouldn't have to need to do everything better. You don't have to be better at every single solitary thing, because it's impossible. Nobody's perfect. Drawing's pretty cool. Has no social media. Okay, if she has no social media, she's been kidnapped by the cartel. Right? Always talks about her exes. Yeah. You know where that's going. The crying shoulder's coming. And the Peter Piper Pumpernickel Pumpkin Eater Pumper full of cream. Not good. Good. She keeps talking about how attractive other guys are. Okay, so that's 50-50 because you know what? No, that's not even 50-50. That's neutral. They all do that. You know they say that thing to the girls. Oh, so like if Drake was in here right now, would you just sleep with Drake? A real woman isn't gonna do it. Like the red pill people want you to think that like every single woman can't think for themselves and they're all amoral and they'll just drop their panties for like anything. I know a lot of women are like that, and because they're not mentally strong, they feel like they don't need to have that responsibility. But just like I'm talking in a normal sense here, and this is more so from my own experience. Women will do that as like a shit test, right? She'll be like, oh my god, like my friend, whatever, he was wearing this and it was like so cute. Even like his character, or my friend, he did this for his girlfriend, right? And what she's doing right there is she's testing you for like a couple things here. One, she's testing to see how you're going to react. If you get jealous, bro, she's turned off, she's leaving your ass. You know what I mean? But if you turn around and you kind of like joke around about her with it, you turn around in some like chill, kind of like playful way, you pass the test. And then the other thing she could be doing too is like you gotta read between the lines here. You know, women, because again, women are not always direct. You gotta snake through the weeds here, so to speak. She could be saying like, oh my god, my friend bought his girlfriend tickets to this place, or like a ring, or like a whatever. And what she's really signaling to you is that's what she wants. It's if you're a guy and you're logical and you're thinking, oh, that's nice that he did that, or like, oh, why is she talking about this so much? It's because she wants it from you. And then you have to make the call, is this woman worth that or not? And really, that's only up to you. Okay. Replies fast. That's goated. That's so goated. The only reason that's not in married is because you want her to have her own life and her own things going on, because you don't want her to feel smothered. You want her to be able to feel like she can have fun by herself, but not to the point where she only has fun without you. There's a fine line with that. Like if you're talking to her too much and you're blowing her shit up, she's gonna get turned off. She's gonna leave you. And, you know, you check in with her at the right times, show you care, you have concern of her and what she does. She's gonna sense that, and really that just boils down again to who she is and what she wants. Like so many red pill people, they try to put out like a template, or they're telling you like, oh, this is how exactly you do it, and this is what you say, and blah 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 blah. When in reality, none of that matters a whole lot. It's really just like who you are and how you say the thing is of what you're saying, and then how you react. It's rapid fire, you know, it's like a think on your feet kind of scenario, right? If she's pestering you, you know, she might really need you for something. Like something may have really happened, but like again, for like the 800th time here, if you're out with the boys and she's pissing you off, man, you know, you can't rock with it. You know, you can't deal with that. Ultimately, if she replies fast, for the most part, what I would think that would entail is that like she actually is like really interested in you. She like cares about you. She's not playing the hard to get game. You know, she's just like comfortable like being yours. She like respects you, which I think is good. Okay, compliments you. Fucking marry her, man. I mean, who doesn't like a compliment? That's the other thing I see too, is like, we'll go to war. We'll die in the trenches and the ditches. And we get nothing. Yeah. Nah, dude, it's like, I think that's over exaggerated. Dude, I think guys get complimented more than like we want to let on. And like, if you're not getting complimented, that's probably more so like a you problem, and you need to do something to better yourself. Because it doesn't even matter what it is, like whether it's working out or pursuing your dreams, or, you know, getting a little creative, or doing the side business, or all of that rigmarole. When you're focused and you're putting the work in, people can just tell. Like you will exude an aura around you, hence aura farming. But if your girl is complimenting you, What a nice girl. What a nice young lady, dude. We could rock with that. Has tattoos. Oh. She's got the little butterfly behind her ear. Or the little love written in cursive. Even then, she might be for the cobblestone, dude. Yeah. You know, because a lot of these girls that have like the lightweight tattoos, they're nurses, and we know what nurses do. Tattoos are way more common now than they were before, but like, we have to be real here. Like, if she's got a lot of tattoos, she has trauma, she's gonna be a problem. I mean, we all know that. That's not even a controversial opinion. Just for the most part, 1 or 2 is okay. My dude's girlfriend, she's got some tattoos, and she's like super chill, sweet, you know, pretty solid girl. I would just say use your own judgment with that one. The main factoid about that, like why people even say that they have trauma, is because like there's been like psychological studies done, and like people that have a lot of tattoos are generally trying to hide themselves in a way. They're like masking their insecurity. They're trying to be unique, and they're trying to just they're trying to maneuver something in the psyche. So that's why that's the thing. Burps or farts. Why is this even on here, dude? One extent, she can't control it, or there's a like, it's like you have to think of every single solitary scenario for this. If she's doing that on purpose, dude, she's chalked. If like she's having a real legitimate medical problem, yeah, that's just going just going I don't even care. Swears a lot. Even the girlfriends that I have, I don't like it when they swear a lot. I've said a word or two in this video. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm talking my one girlfriend, dude. She, like, my friend that is a girl, like, she just drops F-bombs left and right, dude. Like how some people say like before every like thing that they like say. Nah, it's just like F this and this happened thing and blah blah blah. You just sound stupid. And it's not even so for that, not even just for swearing, but like now here I go doing it. When people just say like in between everything, it's just, you can't think of another adjective to convey. You were just going to a word. It's like saying in between everything. You know, you wouldn't watch a video of people just saying in between every pic. I was like, swears a lot. Whatever. You wouldn't do it. I'm gonna say that's chalked. I don't like it. Often curses God. Again, that's a personal thing. It's kind of chalked. If you look ultimately at the principles of religion here, I defy you to tell me one thing wrong with the 10 Commandments here. Oh, don't kill people. Oh, don't steal. Don't murder. Don't covet. You know? And again, we're not making the exception to the rule here. Well, oh, the Crusades and oh, the thing. Like, dude, shut up. Like, we're talking about what we're based on here. If she's cursing God, she's cursing what's objectively good and what's responsible for the universe and anything else. Whether you believe that or not is up to you. But, you know, you can be rebellious, but you don't have to shit talk other people's beliefs, and, you know, just be cool. Treat others how you would like to be treated. And finally, the most important one of all time, talks in dialect. Who can I think of right now? Think of Whoa Vicky, dude. Just think of dating Whoa Vicky. And you know, you tell me. You tell me what you would rate that. I bet you it's not very high. Because you have a few things here. There's a couple things here. This is my personal theory. This is how language has evolved over the last 10 years. So what it started out was, rap took over everything, right? And all the white people wanted to sound black because they want to sound cool, because black people are cool and they say cool shit. So then they started copying that. And what ended up happening from that was then we appropriated the culture, and then the culture morphed with internet slang, like West Coast shit, and it's all congealed, and just turn into this whole like new set of language that we are now experiencing. If we're talking in dialect, like you're talking in Ebonics and stuff, like, you know, that's to me is really unappealing because it just sounds uneducated. You know, like I'm trying to be as grammatically correct as possible as I can at all times. I mean, whatever, you know, like you want to date ghetto trash, you know, go ahead, you know, do what you gotta do. They say snatched and slay and stupid shit that, honest to God, it just sounds so dumb to me. They just it's because they don't know how to speak. They speak like Pokemon. They just speak in guttural noises, and it's supposed to mean something. But that's just me being an old head. And with that, we are done. If you guys enjoyed this video, I would implore you to like, comment, and subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it means the world to me. Thank you. This has been a Dopamine production.